Oh, my bad. What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Zoommates podcast. This is the podcast where we're just trying not to get canceled. I'm one of your hosts, Nick Eden, and to my side, I got my main man, 100 grand, best friend for over 20 years. In the streets, they call him Cinco the Villain. The ladies call him the philosopher, Chocolatees, and Nestle Snipes. It is D'Artagnan himself. What up, Felt 5?
What's up, my brother, man? We going. We doing this again, man. We doing this again. Man. What is this? 3 weeks in a row that we've been consistent.
Yeah, man. We gotta keep it going.
We've been consistent, man. Like we settling in. We getting it done.
Yeah, man. Trying to get on the grind, bro. We're trying to get on the grind. Hey, man, what's your week been looking like?
Man, I'm telling you, man. Like I made a very adult purchase.
Okay.
This week, man. And I'm telling you, if you're an adult out here, you want to invest in how you sleep. And man, I just bought a mattress. And
that's a very adult purchase.
Very adult purchase, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out here sleeping on these springboard mattresses, you know what I'm saying, where you feel the core, you feel the springs sticking you in the back, or the lumpy mattress, like, you know what I'm saying? My old mattress, it was lumpy and stuff, dog. Like it was ghetto. You know what I'm saying?
Ghetto. It was ghetto.
It was ghetto, dude. So I was like, yo, I gotta step up, man, make an adult purchase, man. So
I gotta get me one too. I legit, I gotta get another one.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's been a minute. So
you spend more than you spend a lot of time sleeping, you know what I'm saying? If you're doing life right. You know what I'm saying? Because that team no sleep stuff, guys. Come on, man.
No, you gotta get some rest, bro.
You gotta get some rest at some point. I mean, it's very important to get up and work hard and go hard and all that, but it's also important to get your proper rest, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how. Sure. That's how I'm like. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm this age. You know what I'm saying? And I still look young. You feel me? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't out here like. No, I'm just playing. But
smooth operator.
Hey, look,
smooth operator.
Yo, they do call me Nestle Snipes. You feel me?
Oh, this boy feeling himself, dude. You know what it is and I hate you for this because you still. Nah, he ain't playing at all. See, the problem is, you get a brother like this that don't have to use Beijing, and then all of a sudden you can't tell him shit. That's the problem with it. That's why I'm just letting the gray go, because I'm not gonna be out here looking like Genuine by the head. He got a full head of black hair. He's 52, and then they got a beard make him look like a damn Yorkie. He got Yorkie hair on his face, and it's all dark. I'm like, you can't be out here with the Beijing.
9 o'clock.
But you bedtime anyway. But no, this brother out here. He ain't got the gray in there, so that's why he's acting up like that today. Listen, I get you. I got to make some adult purchases too. Because my problem is, you know me, I'm an equipment junkie, right? So I'm literally sitting here with multiple microphones and all that stuff, and I'm like, bro, I'll spend $300 on a microphone, and I hadn't gotten another bed
yet.
But
you know who you're talking to. I am also an equipment junkie, but the thing is, if you can't buy it all at once, just get it financed. Because I'm telling you, like we get things financed that we really, a lot of times that we don't be needing. Get something that you actually need financed. I mean, shit.
Hey man, I'm trying to cut down that. I'm trying to cut down on that. That when it hits monthly, I'm like, bro, that. So I just spent the week clearing up some debt and stuff too. So.
Look, I plan on paying mine off in 3 weeks' time. Like, I got the little thing. It's like 101 days with no interest. So I'm going to take full advantage and pay it off much earlier.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But no, I gotta get some new couches. I gotta get it's hard for me, man. When I get to the point where I'm just like, yo, I get something I like, I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but it's time to get some new couches. I gotta get a new bed. I'm probably not gonna get a new furniture, new bedroom set just yet. I'll just get the new bed. But I feel you.
I'm gonna hold off on furniture. Like I'm good on furniture. Like until we move up out this house. Like when I move into the living space that I want to be in. That's what. But like I had to get a mattress. I had to get another bed, man. It was
brother.
It was
these
trash.
couches got to go. See. these couches were purchased for aesthetics and not so much functionality
and comfort.
So that you okay? No, because here's the thing: you remember these couches.
Yeah,
these couches ain't never been comfortable.
Yeah.
They've never been comfortable. They look amazing, but they're not comfortable at all. I'm like, bro, I don't have any seating in my home that actually feels good on my back. Like all the seating in my house is fucked up. So I got all of it, bro.
Even the chair that you're sitting in right now.
The chair I'm sitting in right now. And here's the other thing. I'm hesitant about that because the chair that I'm sitting in right now, I got because I wanted to make sure that you know me longer than most. You know, I'll sit in one spot all day.
Yeah.
If I got a computer in front of me, I'll be in a spot for multiple hours.
Yeah.
So for me to kind of help my work-life balance, I'm getting another chair, but I don't want it to be too comfortable because this chair, I'm sitting here long enough to do my work and then get my ass up and go and do the other stuff I need to do. Otherwise, I'll be in it all day. Because you know me. If I get a comfortable spot, ouch. It's 12 hours later, Nick, what you doing? I don't know, but I probably need to eat or pee at some point.
Right. So you basically giving yourself back problems in order to try to make yourself more active.
Hey, you know what it is?
You're hustling backwards, my friend.
Listen, I'll say it this way. What helps is at the end of the day, when I sit down in that tub, Mr. Teals, along with some Epsom salt, we'll go ahead and cure all that out. I am going to go see you talk about an adult move. I am going to see a chiropractor next week. So I can, I've been watching Dr. Chicago on TikTok, boy. He be cracking the shit out of folks.
Well, if you remember, like I had to have like a chiropractor like in my early 20s because like I worked at this place that I'm not going to mention. Well, it's UPS. I worked at UPS when I was younger and messed my back up. And so I had to go to a chiropractor like at age 20 because I was walking around the yard like I was 95 years old.
I do remember that.
So it definitely helps when he puts you on that table and it's got the wheels, the rolling table, you know what I'm saying? And then they put the little round things on your back with the electric synapse, you know what I'm saying?
I don't give a damn what they do. I need them to crack this spine like it's some motherfucking
get them to put get them to put the electric things on your back, you know what I'm saying, and give you the little shock treatment.
No, I'm good on the shock treatment, man.
It's gonna help you. Trust me, man. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It feels like it's like a little tingling feeling.
You know what? You remind me of somebody else that said that shit. Shout out to Pissed, who's in Tangerine's Discord.
Shout out to Pissed.
He got one of those little things too. I don't think he used it for back purposes. I think he used it for something else.
A fellow gamer,
gamer,
brother. You know what I'm saying? A fellow gamer. What's up?
Shout out to Piss. Put him on. He runs some good games on Twitch, and he does a game night in the Discord. Man, he's a great dude, man.
We're gonna get Nick gaming one of these days, man. You know what I'm saying? I have not given up on my boy, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get Nick gaming. Because it's too much great entertainment out here, man. Xbox Game Pass is too good for you to miss out on in your life, brother.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. There was something that was brought up. I'm not gonna say by whom, but I will say it's the first time I was actually intrigued at possibly doing some type of gaming, and that's all I'm gonna say because it's something that I do.
No, wait a minute. Already. You can't leave it out. No, you can't leave it off like that, bro.
Yes, I can.
I need motherfucking detail.
I'll tell you offline.
It's an off mic conversation. We got
it's an off mic conversation, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. It was the first time I was like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay, but anyway,
you gotta let me know.
Yeah, for sure. So while we shouting folks out, man, again, shout out to Pissed. Shout out to Tangerine, man. Tangerine gave me a really good shout out on Tangerine's Top Talent last Tuesday.
Yeah. Amazing content creator, amazing talent, multi-talented. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. You know what I'm saying? Her and Team CT all day.
Team CT all day. And shout out to CT for getting cast in the new House Party.
Yes,
the House Party reboot with that LeBron's producing. So I'm excited to see.
TT, you got to kill it, brother. This is my favorite movie. This is one of my favorite movies on earth. I got faith in you, brother. I've seen your sketches. You were funny as hell. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah, CT is definitely gonna kill it.
I know. I ain't even worried about it.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to get hopefully, because I'm relaunching Morning Cup of merch this week. So hopefully going into Q4, because I found that a lot of podcasters and other YouTube content creators are wanting to get into merch, and they just don't. I think people think of t-shirts the old way. Let me buy a bunch of t-shirts, get them screen printed or heat transfer. And don't get me wrong, those are still viable and profitable ways of doing it. But, for those that are not familiar with like podcasting and y'all just, listening, this is hard what we do. And a lot of times there's not a lot of budget that comes in. So I want to try to have Tangerine on there to talk about kind of her merch journey and stuff like that. But yeah, and a big shout out, man, to my illustrator, Marty Ross. Marty is based in Italy. If you have ever seen, as a matter of fact, if you're watching the YouTube version of it, you have definitely seen this illustration come up before. Marty did this illustration for me and did it in a day. And I got her working on some more stuff. So,
I still got to
shout out to all the folks. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. We're going to be doing a little rebranding, y'all. Over the next few weeks, man, y'all are going to see some different stuff on the Zoommates podcast, kind of rebranding as we take this thing to the next level, bro.
Yeah, man, because, I do have a superhero face. So, you know what I'm saying? I would love to see it animated.
Oh, okay.
Yo, I'm just playing, bro. I'm just. Right, cool, let me stop. Acting
I could have got you on that one, but I'm going to leave it alone. Anyway, so, bro, look. We're doing things a little different today. Generally on the Zoommates podcast, we cover an array of topics. And today we're going to center ourselves from the regular content all the way to the GOHOT around Black TV dads, man. This is a conversation. Dads. Yeah, this is a conversation Felton and I have been having for the longest. Some stuff we agree wholeheartedly on, some stuff we don't agree on. So one, we want to make sure that our Black TV dads are getting their roses, and then also we just want to talk about them, man. And then we're gonna do a GOHOT. The GOHOT knows no boundaries, knows no limits. So
knows none.
Yeah. Absolutely. So man, let's just get into it. First, I think the first thing I wanted to talk about, and you just let me know, like, what do you feel is the overall impact of Black TV dads over the years?
Well, I mean, being the fact that you and I are both fathers of multiple children, we have.
Hold on, brother. Wait. Let's stop there. First off, we only have 2 children each. Let's not. I don't want to. Them niggas got a whole bunch of kids.
Look, if you got more than one child, then you have multiple children.
It just sounds bad talking about Black men.
Yeah. Okay, so we both have children. Both of us have children from one situation in our lives.
Exactly. We got the same baby mama.
we not out here sowing seed everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, look, check it out. Like,
not anymore.
Okay, so Stop it. See, there
that
you
was
go.
A lifetime ago.
You go.
I've been a changed man for.
We're not gonna bring up your list. We're not gonna bring up your list. But anyway, your body count is bad, brother. But
ain't this a bitch? Okay, well, shit.
Oh man,
this motherfucker woke up and chose violence today. Got it,
man. The man got more bodies than a Tommy gun. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, all of the the TV dads, yo, look.
My OJ on real quick. Yeah, keep going, man.
Anyway, man, like what I was saying, like we are both influenced, heavily by TV dads. You know what I'm saying? We also, as well as the parental figures, the father figures in our life. You know what I'm saying? So, my brother over here, he has the benefit of having more than one parental father figure. Absolutely. And I got my pop, who is very integral in my life. So anyway, I still use to make a long story short, I still use jokes and sayings and things that I've heard from TV dads in the in the rearing of my children, when it's appropriate. Of course, I know they play some things up, but sometimes the stuff is relevant that has happened in these shows. And I'm pretty sure my brother over here has definitely also used some of the jokes and the sayings from the shows that we were heavily influenced by, particularly. I know he's canceled now and all of that. Particularly the Bill Cosby. I brought you in this world and I'll take you out. I have used that one myself. I'm not gonna speak for my brother over there. He might not have used that because he ain't as violent as I am. In a manner of speaking. Let's see, like I've used a few different jokes. I'm kind of like Terry Crews, well, not like Terry Crews. I'm like Julius from Everybody Hates Chris when it comes to saving that money. I do, like to look at my money and shine it up and name it, name my quarters Howard and stuff like that because I needs my money.
That's hilarious on a few different levels. And I would say this. We're going to talk very specifically about some TV dads, but I'm glad you brought this up because I think it's important that you separate Bill Cosby from Heathcliff Huxtable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heathcliff Huxtable was an amazing father, an amazing husband, a pillar of his community. And here's the other thing. I'm going to go ahead and say this, and it's not popular. Bill Cosby, as a figurehead, was an amazing figurehead for Black America for years. And he championed a lot of things like HBCUs, like Black excellence. He has his personal demons. Everybody has their personal demons. I'm not going to turn this into that kind of show because, quite frankly, I don't give a shit what folks tend to think about Bill Cosby. I have my issues and my things that I'm inspired by with Bill Cosby, but we're talking specifically about the characters. And I think as we talk about some of these folks, we should generally keep that separation.
And before you guys say anything, we are not Bill Cosby apologists. We have had many a conversation with people who are Bill Cosby apologists to let them know how wrong they are.
Here's
Both
the thing.
of us have.
Here's the deal.
I'm not a Bill Cosby apologist. I think what he did was reprehensible. I'll say this. I'm gonna say this because again, I don't want this to take away the spotlight from Black TV dads. Yeah.
Whatever you think about Bill Cosby, I'll be honest with you, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And the reason I say I don't give a shit is because until you hold that same vitriol for the type of instances that happen in our own communities, not to say that Bill Cosby is not a part of our community, but if you can't,
Bill Cosby ain't your brother.
I was about to say, you can't hold Uncle Johnny and Aunt Jane to those same standards. I don't want to hear your hypocrisy when it comes to Bill Cosby.
Right.
So when y'all stop sweeping shit under the rug in our community, then we can have that conversation. Until then, I give less than a shit what you have to say about it.
But that's not why we're here. We are here to talk about the TV dads. But every time we bring up Bill Cosby or somebody who is canceled, then we have to make the disclaimer. You know what I'm saying? Just how it goes.
I'm bringing this back from the old middleman days.
Uh-oh.
The block button is strong with me, and the opinions of the Zoommates podcast are that of our own. If you don't like our opinions, if you're on YouTube, there's a little red button at the top that says create your own video. Do it yourself. Don't bring that shit to me. Yeah. But Black TV dads, bro, I gotta tell you, not only have I taken some of the jokes, I've taken some of the lessons and the manner in which they have interacted and talked with their, taught their children, and applied that. And I have 4 really amazing examples of father figures in my life: my biological dad, my stepdad, my paternal grandfather, and my maternal grandfather. And I take a lot from what the four of them have done, but you cannot look at someone as dynamic as Heathcliff Huxtable, as Michael Kyle, Carl Winslow, Julius Rock, and Philip Banks among the plethora of TV dads and not draw from that in some form or fashion. You just
Absolutely.
can't. You know, so I think it was, I think from a culture standpoint, it was impactful for us. I also think from a mainstream standpoint, it was helping to change the perception of Black men in this country, which is still heavily skewed.
Absolutely.
But when you consider coming out so for everybody know, we grew up in the 90s, right? We're 80s babies, 90s kids.
Yep.
There were some great examples in the 80s, some that Felt brought up that I had completely forgotten about. There were some in the 70s. But to me, the 90s probably had the most diverse group.
It was the strongest. I feel like it was the strongest for the TV dads. Like sitcoms in general in the 90s had reached a fever pitch that I don't feel like they were able to reach in decades before. Because I mean, in the 70s, what they had, like the Jeffersons and Sanford and Son. 80s had Good Times, you know what I'm saying, which was cool. 80s had
not like Good Times.
Good Times is my least favorite sitcom of all time, even though I do think that James as a father figure was a great character.
Shout out to John Amos.
Shout out to John Amos, man. That's one of my real life heroes there, because not only did he play a great TV dad in Good Times, he also played a great dad in the movie Coming to America. Like,
the boy has got his own money.
Dog, that is America, Jack. Now I put my foot up your royal ass. Look here. John Amos, he killed them roles. Okay.
Yeah,
look,
for sure.
that's my man's there. Like, so in the 90s we had, we had Carl Winslow, we had Philip Banks, we had Michael Kyle. Well, Michael Kyle was in the 2000s.
It was late 90s, early 2000s.
Late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? We had the dad from Smart Guy. I can't remember his name. We had a bunch of TV dads that did great things.
And oh God, what was his name? The dad from
the brother from Sister.
Yeah.
And he had that show called Ray's Place before Sister. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, man, we had a lot of influences growing up as far as TV dads go. You know what I mean? So we're thankful for that. It was a golden time, honestly.
For sure. And I think for me, and I think particularly when you talk about a cultural standpoint, you look at just a array of different things they were able to do and the type of characters they were able to portray. One of the examples that comes to mind is when you think about the 70s, staples of the 70s were Good Times, Jeffersons, and Sanford and Son. You had three very different Black fathers,
right?
That all came from a blue collar background, right? James was a struggling worker. Fred had his own, he was an entrepreneur. He had his own junk business. And then you had George Jefferson, who was a blue collar brother who had a successful dry cleaning chain. Right.
Exactly.
And so, though it presented three different men, it presented three different men. When you get to the 80s and particularly in the 90s, you've got Philip Banks, attorney at law, who eventually becomes a judge. You've got Carl Winslow, who was, a beat cop, blue collar brother, who eventually became
himself up to captain or something. Like
he was captain.
It was a very high position. By the time the show,
And I think, to me, I gotta be honest, and don't get me wrong, I love Jaleel White and I love Steve Urkel. I think as they got a little further into the show, that it went off the rails with it.
It got ridiculous.
Family Matters was my favorite, because you did see this ascension of Carl, right? And you saw things when he was getting ready to take the captain's test and the apprehension. I know police officers, and when it comes to things, when they're taking the sergeant test or the detective test or the lieutenant test, that how he portrayed, I don't know if he went and studied folks, because Reginald VelJohnson is an amazing actor, right? People try to portray him as just, he played a cop and everything.
Just Carl Winslow.
But he's an amazing actor that knew what worked for him and what worked for him at that time. But knowing some of those folks that, folks we know, we went to school with, some of our frat brothers that are law enforcement officers, I don't know if he just went and studied someone when it came to that, but it was so authentic. I mean, it was ridiculously authentic. And so for me, it was just like, it showed black folks in different ways. Michael Kyle had his own construction business.
Like it was vending machines. Like, honestly, I was trying to get into vending machines a few years ago, and it was because of me watching my wife and kids. Like I was like, wow, that's something that black people can do. It's not something that you think of like, I'm gonna own a whole bunch of vending machines. We don't grow up thinking about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The typical examples of us growing up is like, you go to school, you get an education, and you get a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing wrong.
1K in that desk, and you work until you retire.
We do a whole show about that. It's literally, I mean, it's nothing wrong with that, but also you need to be able to give the kids more of an option. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this day and age, because it's different for the millennials and zillennials than it was for the boomers and the early Gen Xers. You know what I'm saying? Even by the time the mid Gen Xers got to it, it became messed up. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so we need more examples, and Michael Kyle gave me that example specifically. Uncle Phil, like you were saying, was a lawyer, and eventually got to become a judge. And
here's the other part about it. As they went along with the show and they delved more into Uncle Phil's backstory, you found out that he was an activist when he was in school. This brother was protesting civil rights. Like man, I gotta say, one of the most powerful episodes to me was when Olafame, their friend from college, came, and she's still very much so in the struggle from an activist standpoint, and it kind of showed the dynamic between how folks think activism is and what it actually is, like it's so much nuance. And then of course, in my mind, James Avery can do no wrong. Rest in peace to James Avery.
Rest in peace.
I will say this. And I understand it, even though to me, I felt like Carl Winslow was a better representation. Uncle Phil was, for a great majority of kids coming up with us who did not have fathers, Uncle Phil was their father.
Uncle Phil was, to me, the greatest TV dad. I know you feel a little bit differently, Nick, but honestly, like the life lessons and the conviction that he parented, that he was parenting with, was, it was unmatched. You know what I mean? And that's not to take anything away from Carl, but I'm telling you, some of the times that I heard him parenting, Carlton and Will respectively, even Hillary and
Ashley and little Nikki.
Ashley. Maybe not so much little Nikki, but like, but Ashley and all of it.
We're gonna forget about the youngest dark skinned child. Is that what we're doing?
It ain't got nothing to do with him being the dark skin. You know what happens, bro. Like when you add them characters in late, it just don't feel right. It's just like when they added 7 to Married with Children.
Hey, wait. What was so funny was, did you watch the Fresh Prince reunion on HBO Max?
I did, and he came in at the end.
At the end there, and I was like, who the fuck is? Oh, how do you feel being that?
Hey, you know what he feels? Rich, but anyway, he probably still got some money,
depending on how the syndication checks work.
Hey, I hope his agent did set up them residuals for him. But anyway,
well, we get off topic. No. I would say this, and I don't want anybody to think that I am saying that for any reason that Uncle Phil wasn't a great TV dad, or that James Avery didn't do a brilliant performance as Uncle Phil. For me, it just hit a little different for me with Carl Winslow. One, because Carl Winslow was a blue collar guy, and the vast majority of our community is comprised of blue collar men, right? So the way he parented was from that standpoint. They were a middle class family that still worked very hard. You know, you had when you go from Dr. Huxtable, where you've got the doctor father, the lawyer mother. You go to Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, where you have the attorney father and the professor mother. Even though they kind of X that out for Aunt Viv later, that's a whole nother show. But
yeah, that was a mess.
When you look at the origins of Family Matters, which was a spinoff of one of my favorite 80s TV shows, Perfect Strangers. you know that Harriet started off as
an elevator operator.
Yeah. Right? And so you just get a peek into this family, this nuclear family where, you know, Mother Winslow is there, Aunt Rachel is there. Mm-hmm. To me, it's a lot more accurate representation of what a lot of Black families at that time and even now go through. And the other part of that was the support that he gave his children, which I would say I would put on equal playing field. He and Uncle Phil both gave, you know, unfiltered, undying support to their children. Right. Mm-hmm. But it did come from a place of not a place of I'm the attorney, so I can make this happen. But I'm handling this as a normal person was. And then the chemistry between Carl and Harriet probably stuck out to me the most. There are TV couples that it's like, okay, y'all have a good dynamic or y'all have a good chemistry. They have, and I'm gonna throw Anthony Anderson under the bus a little bit with this, because I really enjoy Blackish, but there's no emotional or sexual chemistry between Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross.
It's zero. It's zero.
It's the driest. That's got to be the driest coochie in sitcom history, because there's just no chemistry.
The driest coochie and the limpest dick in history.
Right.
In the history of TV.
Carl and Harriet, you felt that, like, it's like, yo, they're like the little subtle things, and it's and
the same with Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, like especially the first Aunt Viv. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely felt that chemistry with James Avery and Janice Hubert. You know, that chemistry was great. Like, I saw it.
I mean, I think it depends on. I think it's subjective. I think it's subjective for me, and I think it's primarily because physical touch is my primary love language, right? And
same here.
I didn't see that as much with Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv as I did. It's the subtle things, and again, it goes to the genius of Reginald Vell Johnson and Joe Marie Payton, where, you know, whether it was they're sitting there and they're talking, they're having a discord, he just picks up her hand and starts rubbing it, or she's laying on his shoulder and he's rubbing her hair. They're kissing, they're hugging. You know, you see a lot of affection that makes it feel like they're really in love. People really thought they were a couple.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, okay, for some reason, to me, and this is just me, it came off a little bit corny the way that they did it versus the way that Uncle Phil and Janet Hubert did it. Like, and I'm not trying to say anything is bad about that.
In what way though? Because I don't remember this will be the best homework I ever have. I'll actually go back. I actually just wrapped up Family Matters on Hulu, so I'll go back. I'll pull up this HBO Max and I'll start beginning to end on Fresh Prince. I just don't. It never stuck out to me. Right, a kiss at the end of the episode to me was just kind of like, eh. They had a great dynamic because I thought they were a great team as parents. But in terms of the couple dynamic, I don't think at any point I ever in my life was like, man, Uncle Phil fucking the shit out of Aunt Viv. But I did feel that way. Like Carl and Harriet, it's like, even though I didn't particularly find it's Harriet's voice, it wasn't that Kyle, come here, Kyle.
I never even wanted to visit that in my mind when I was a kid. So I mean, I don't. But
it wasn't out of the way to believe that Carl was beating them cheeks. Like it just wasn't.
You're right. I mean, you're right. But like I said, to me, it came off a little bit corny. I'm not sure if it was them as actors or was it the damn score. You know, the score from whoever was it Norman Lear? Who was that?
It was Norman Lear. They had a very traditional. I will say this much. I think one of the things that stuck out about Fresh Prince over a lot of shows was how the score was done. And for those who are not musicians, we're about to get in our musician bag.
Mm-hmm. It was very hip hop.
It was fresh. It was not your typical episode score that you would get in sitcom,
right?
In sitcoms, it was for Family Matters.
Yeah,
it really was, especially at that time.
It was mad corny. It was mad.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was corny as much as I thought it was.
Dog, it was corny, dog. It's okay. Yo, look. I love Family Matters, dog. Don't even. I'm not. Don't even.
He's even on the score.
No, dude. No, hold on. Don't even. You know I love Family Matters, dog. But like, come on, man. When them guitars. And then the little strings come in with the little flute, blah 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 blah. So, oh my God, here we go. Here's a special moment, guys. Here's the lesson. And then he grabs Harry's hand. Honey, I don't want to fight with you. And blah blah blah. And yeah. Yes, Carl. Okay. And blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, and then the clapping. And then they get together cheek to cheek and dance like that. I'm like, yo, that shit is corny as yeah. I mean, I still loved it. It was still heartwarming, but I'm just saying that this shit was corny. And look,
there's only one episode.
Zoommates family. Go ahead. We need to have a poll. Okay, was Family Matters corny? Okay, was Family Matters
That's
affection?
Not fair because
was Family Matters affection corny?
Was Family Matters affection corny? I can understand that.
Was the affection in Family Matters kind of corny? You know what I'm saying?
Only nigga to think that shit.
Dude, I'm not. I guarantee you, I'm not. And like I said, I love Family Matters.
Well,
like,
you thought that Legend of Zelda wasn't boring, but we're not going there.
Legend of Zelda was not boring. You just don't know good games because you ain't no gamer. So
maybe we was playing games at the same time. That shit was corny. Anyway, go ahead. No. Was the affection on Family Matters corny? That is because the problem is if you say was Family Matters corny, unfortunately, as they switched writers and started switching casts, again, the latter seasons, especially as they centered and got more outrageous with Steve Urkel. Then
that was corny. That
was corny. But folks will just take that as a whole. Oh no, that shit was corny. But I'm sorry. I like affectionate couples. I like affection. I do too. I like public displays, and I felt them as a couple. I really felt them as a couple.
I enjoy.
I'm just saying. It's only one episode for sure that I was just like Uncle Phil clapped Aunt Viv's cheeks, and that was when they went away for the weekend. But even then, they had a bunch of problems. Hell, I think Jeffrey got more action that weekend than they did. That nigga was dressed up in a toga. But
Uncle Phil was always making sideways comments to Aunt Viv, like. He was
Uncle
always
Phil made more sideways comments about food. Look, do you remember it was such a rumor at that time, like one of those TV rumors where it was like, oh, would they go there with this? Where they actually thought that it was Jeffrey who might have been Lil Nicky's father, that they had to address it in the show. They had to address it in the show. Now, bro, they just did. They had some of it, but it wasn't. It wasn't on that. It wasn't on that level. Like
that's only because they were rich. And another thing about Uncle Phil, man, I feel like even if Uncle Phil and I feel like if the Fresh Prince didn't have the affluent setting, I feel like James Avery could have been just as an effective father because of how dynamic he was. Well, Uncle Phil could have been just as a dynamic father if he was a mechanic working in a shop. I feel like Uncle Phil still would come through and give you them lessons. You know,
I definitely agree with that. I just think that again, given the circumstance and given that was probably the most accurate representation of not only Black families in America at that time, of families, period, right? To me, that's what just made it stick out a little bit more to me. And not everybody can do Family Matters. Yeah, it makes sense. Not everybody can do that.
What you're saying, makes a lot of sense, and I get I get where you're coming from. So I will concede that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, that Family Matters was great for that, and the reason that you know, I understand why you put Carl above Uncle Phil. And we're kind of having a GOHOT right now, even though we're not supposed to be doing it.
No, we ain't doing that yet. Because here's some other folks that I want to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. But but these are two of the main people. Like in the 90s, if you grew up in the 90s, it was always the Fresh Prince and Family Matters.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, those were the two biggest like family sitcoms. TGIF was a thing, and when Fresh Prince came on, that was the thing. And everybody knows it, bro.
Let me say this. I know we're talking about Black TV dads, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention, since you brought up TGIF, Full House. He was goofy, he was corny as shit, but Danny Tanner was a great dad.
He was a great dad.
He was a great dad, and Uncle Jesse and Joey, like that. I loved that show. I absolutely love that show.
Hey, you know who was not a great dad though? Who was also on TGIF?
Who?
The nigga from Step by Step. You remember that dude?
He was
horrible.
He wasn't horrible. He wasn't horrible.
That dude ran out on his family. Like, bro, he was.
Let me tell you something.
Terrible.
No. Here's the reason I say that. The reason I say he wasn't
off topic like a motherfucker, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, in fact, that because I got to say it. I mean, he was trying. He was trying to get some pussy, and 3 kids came with that shit, and he was like, "Motherfucker, I am not Mike Brady. Fuck that shit.
I am not dealing with your kids."
I was trying to get with this big titty blonde, and that you know. Now he definitely, you were like, "Oh, he's definitely clapping them cheeks," but that's all he wanted to do. He didn't give a shit about them kids.
That's all he wanted to do. He barely even paid attention to his own kids.
Right.
But anyway.
Right. Like if fuck them kids was a person.
All he did was get in his truck, go to work, and come home and hit on his wife. That's all he did.
So okay, I have a thought. Can we just take a moment to give some honorable mentions? Because we talk about the main ones, but there are some other great TV dads out there. So I just wanted to take a moment to give. I know Felt you had a couple. I had a couple. That I just wanted to mention really quickly. So can you give your roses to your honorable mentions for Black TV dads?
Yeah, man. For me, now everybody knows Good Times is my least favorite sitcom, but James as a Black father was absolutely, astonishing, and I might have already said it this episode. I think I already have. So I got to give it to James Evans one time for my man, James Evans. You know what I'm saying? Damn, they had to kill him off, because of JJ. But anyway, for him. Then we're gonna fast forward all the way to 2013 with my man Anthony Anderson as Rainbow. Not Rainbow. What am I doing? As Andre Johnson from Blackish. You stupid. You know what I'm saying? He was a brother just really trying to make his way. And also, I got to give honorable mention, also on that show, my man Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh my God, I love Pop. Who is
the best? Who is the shadiest? Who is the shadiest father? There's no better way to tell your son that even though he rich and got all this money, that you still ain't shit. Than Lawrence Fishburne did. Boy,
if there was ever
and give me some money, by the way, boy, give me some money also.
Right. If there was ever a category for best Black TV grandparents, Lawrence Fishburne and Jennifer Lewis, my God.
They're the number ones.
I didn't think that you get better than
Miss Winslow.
The grandparent. Mother Winslow.
Mother Winslow was.
I was gonna say, in terms of a couple's dynamic, I didn't think that you would get it any better than the Cosby Show. Slide Huxtable. Anyway, but no, Jennifer Lewis and Lawrence Fishburne, they got the best TV grandparents. Period.
Absolutely, it's not even close.
Yeah, it's not even close. But no, go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
So also I got to give honorable mention to I cannot and this is terrible. I can't remember his name, but the brother from Smart Guy, because he was a single father, and he had to juggle, doing his job, dealing with a knucklehead son like Jason Weaver, and then another son who's a genius, who think that he know more than him, you know, and he had to constantly remind him that even though you're smart, son, you still don't know this game of life. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to that brother. You know what I'm saying? And he also, you know, he wasn't even able to use his light skin privilege because he was parenting so hard. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had to say something ignorant. You know what I mean? But yeah,
and shout out to that show for that being the first TV appearance of Destiny's Child, and I fell in love with LaToya Luckett.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, speaking of TV appearances and casting, shout out to my man Robert Townsend, just in general for just being a dope motherfucker. But anyway, but specifically for being you know, Robert Peterson in Parenthood, and you know, who's also a great father, you know, very attentive to his kids, and brought on stage one Zaria, you know, Reagan Gomez, who is still a stunning, beautiful woman to this day.
All right. So first off, brother, we gotta give her proper name. It's Reagan Gomez Preston. She is a married woman, and
yes, she's a married woman.
I don't lust after married women, but let me explain something to you. Zaria was my. Let me tell you something. I get it. I know folks were in love with Keisha Knight Pulliam. I know folks were in love with Laura and Myra.
Yes,
and I listen for me, and boy, I'm finna catch some hell for this. Reagan Gomez Preston, Zaria,
number one,
and Topanga were my motherfucking boy. Look, let me tell you something.
Hot take,
Topanga, boy.
Hot take. But we're supposed to be talking about TV dads.
Listen,
here, guys.
But yeah, Zaria. Hey, fuck no, I'm saying this shit. Reagan Gomez Preston. I feel like that dude on TikTok that did the thing about Chloe Bailey. Lord help me, I got a family at home, but a family at home ain't got me. Because if Reagan, I'll tell you something, I'm moving to LA. If Reagan Gomez Preston is like, yo, come hop on it. But so no, but no, yeah.
I got a family at home, but a family at home ain't got me.
Let me tell you something. Hey, look, I ain't never coming home no more. Take it
Jesus.
easy. But
the savagery of that statement. Oh man.
Anyway, but no. Oh, so in terms of honorable mentions for Black TV dads, I got a couple myself. Some of them y'all are very familiar with. Some of y'all are not. Tim Reed from Sister Sister.
Yes, absolutely.
I thought he was a great TV dad. I thought that Sister Sister as a show was a little campy and that it was designed to be that way. But I still think that he came through and he gave an amazing performance.
Yeah. Very effective dad, by the way, too.
Very effective dad. Yeah. I will also say one that I feel like does not get his roses as a TV dad. Simply because they weren't his biological children, but Bernie Mac in the Bernie Mac show, I loved him as a father figure in that show. Yeah, Bernie absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it. One that's the actor is well known, but the show is not well known, and that's when Steve Harvey had his show Me and the Boys. And here's the crazy thing.
That was before the Steve Harvey show.
That was before the Steve Harvey show. I would have never watched that show, but for one thing, the middle child on that show, I don't know any other way to say it, looked just like me. People that I went to school with thought that I was him, especially during that time I had done a couple of commercials here and there. I had done one little movie. You know, little known fact, Nick actually started acting before he was singing, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, first movie called Cries of Silence. It was a TV movie. It came out on ABC in 94.
Wow.
94. Ironically enough, I've never seen the movie. And it's only available on VHS. So, right. But so folks actually thought that I was him, right? And I was like, man, I was gonna stop. And then when I watched the show, I was like, Let me call my daddy. Let me make sure my daddy ain't got no more kids rolling around here somewhere. Check your people. And then my final one that I think that he's everybody's dad in some form or fashion. That we've looked at him. Pops from the Wayans brothers, man.
Ooh,
God rest in peace. John Witherspoon, as over the top as he was, he had the unique position as being one of the only TV dads that of adult children and how you navigate
it.
And to me, I was like, that made him stick out. I was completely impressed with him. Again, rest in peace, John Witherspoon.
Rest in peace, man.
But yeah, Pops from the Wayans brothers. So those are my honorable mentions. And
I gotta say, my man from Smart Guy, who I was talking about earlier, his name is John Marshall Jones. Marshall Jones. Floyd Henderson was the name of his character on Smart Guy. Floyd Henderson.
Yeah, most definitely.
TJ Henderson's daddy.
I gotta ask you, because this really just popped up. This is not on the docket. This is on the fly. So I just gotta ask you. You mentioned one that was white that was trash. Were there any TV dads that you thought were just absolutely trash?
Do they have to be black? Does it matter if they're black or white?
We are talking about black TV dads.
Yeah, we're talking about black TV dads. I don't think that I can recall any ones who were, not unless they were just absent. Like, whoever the nigga was in Thea who was supposed to be the daddy, or the Kim's dad from the Parkers. That was Tommy, right? Wasn't that Tommy?
I think it was Tommy.
Yeah, I think that was Tommy. Yeah, so he was trash. You know what I'm saying? Because he'll come in, give Kim a whole bunch of presents, and then dip out. The trashiest TV dad of all time, of course, we know, even though he's a brilliant actor, is my man Chicken George, my man Ben Vereen.
From when he played
the Fresh
Will
Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah,
when he played, Will Smith's dad from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I hate that he has the same profession that I'm in, because we are all people who drive trucks do not behave in that manner. Because I'm here every day. I'm here every day for my kids. So
listen. Let me tell you something. I would say he is the most trash. I 100% agree that he's the most trash. The most trash dad moment that I remember in TV history. Now, actually going through and I was watching this last week. So you had Ben Vereen's moment with Will, but then after that was Moesha, the dad of Moesha. The way that Dorian, aka Ray J, found out that his uncle was actually his dad. I was like, that is the most trash ass moment.
Now, see, I didn't watch
from Ben Vereen.
I didn't really watch much Moesha.
He was a decent dad. He really was a decent dad.
Yeah.
But that was the most trash ass moment. Dorian had been living there, and oh my God, it was trash. And then his excuse was, when it came out that Moesha's biological mom had left him with the kids, but then it turned out she left. She was only gone for the summer. So my nigga, you had a whole ass kid with a whole ass woman that you don't get along with now, because I didn't think we were ever gonna get back together. He said the rest of the summer. So it wasn't like the shit was June. Bruh.
I don't even know how to react to that. That was
one of the most trash father moments in the history of black TV. That shit was ass, bro. I was like, you need your ass whipped for that shit. You need your motherfucking ass whipped for that.
Oh yeah, you know what? You know another trash TV dad, and this is a very recent one. I don't know if you guys are up on this. My man Mike Epps from the Upshaws.
I just started watching that, so I'm only 2 episodes in.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it, but your man Mike Epps.
Let me say this.
Yo, he is one of the worst TV fathers of all time, but it's still funny and it's still a great show. But that nigga there is trash.
Let me tell you something.
He is horrible. God damn.
I have only watched 2 episodes. I don't think that I've laughed this hard as a sitcom since the Carmichael Show.
The chemistry between him and Wanda Sykes, They got that Martin and Pam dynamic, and it is great, dog. If you're not watching the Upshaws on Netflix, hell, it got nominated for an Emmy. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, that damn good.
It is
good. Oh my God.
It is.
And shout out to my boy Big Jaw.
Shout out,
Big
man.
Jaw is on there too. Let me tell you something.
Shout out, man.
Let me tell you something. I make it a point, and we're trailing off, but we're about to go into the GOHOT. I make it a point for the content creators that I know are also working actors and actresses to shout them out whenever, because at a very dark place in life, a very dark moment in life for me, where I had to do a lot of self-reflection. One of the things that I did to kind of escape myself was start watching some of these content creators on there. And Big Jaw, CT, Tangerine, Barry Brewer, Ken Edwin,
Jamal
I See You.
Yeah. Jamal the Creator. That's my man's there, man.
Yeah, all them cats, bro. They are Minx. I think Minx.
Yeah.
All the Jahan Jones.
Yeah.
They are that is a talent.
Corbin. Yeah, just all of them.
Corbin's just fine as most. But no.
She's a content creator.
Yeah. Cassandra Lee, Jenny Babbis,
Lisa Yarrow.
Lisa Yarrow. Miss Sade.
Yes, Miss Sade. Oh, that's my girl there, man. That's my
Craig Schmidt. Like all of them. And that's why I get so excited when I see them in shows like Bruh and the Upshaws,
because they deserve to be there. Yeah,
they deserve that shine. They deserve to still be celebrated on YouTube because of their platforms, and they're getting that money straight from them. So it's a lot of great content out there. But I just wanted to say that. But yes, Upshaws, I completely agree with you. I think that given time, even though he is a trash ass dad, I think that the Upshaws could make its way into the upper echelon of Black sitcoms. Particularly as we are now winding down Blackish.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time for something else that's not the same. It's not the same as Blackish.
Yeah.
But my God, that show is funny. So listen, I want to go into the GOHOT, which is directly related to this show. But I did want to tell everybody why. I purposely stayed away from talking from one person because he's dynamic in his own right. But felt, let's give him the GOHOT and the four Black TV dads that we have identified as deserving of this GOHOT.
Okay, everybody knows that the GOHOT basically, you know what I'm saying? It's our version of the One Gotta Go with a little twist on it. You know what I'm saying? So for today's GOHOT, we're gonna decide which one of these TV dads goes hot and which one goes home. And because somebody is gonna be going home. Now we have 4 candidates here, and we've already mentioned those honorable mentions earlier. So the first one is my man Michael Kyle from My Wife and Kids, acted by my man's Damon Wayne. We have my man's Carl Winslow from Family Matters, which is acted by my man Reginald Vell Johnson, amazing actor. We got Terry Crews, who is not my man's at all, acted by and he plays as Mr. Julius from Everybody Hates Chris, which is a very funny show, and he was very good in it. We got my man's Philip Banks, who is Uncle Phil, and he is acted by Mr. James Avery, rest in peace, Philip Banks. And so Nicholas, which one of these TV dads goes hot? Which of these TV dads go hot, and which one goes home?
All right. So if you've been watching this show for the last hour, you already know the first person I'm going to say is that has to stay.
Yes, sir.
Is Carl Winslow.
Yes, sir.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
To me, he is the best TV dad all around. I feel like he's the best from every angle all around. I think he's the best TV dad. And that's all I got to say about that. The second, first off, rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil.
For real.
Peace, for real.
Philip Banks, James Avery,
Philip mother effing Banks.
Dynamic. I cannot, and I really just wish people could go and find some of his other works, because I think with these roles, people tend to get typecast into just that person. And Philip Banks is a great character to be remembered by, but James Avery did so much more. He is a phenomenal actor.
Phenomenal.
Brilliant. Just brilliant.
Absolutely.
But Uncle Phil has got to stay. Now.
Okay, we getting dicey. We getting
Michael
dicey,
Kyle
boy.
And Julius Rock.
We getting dicey.
Respectively, My Wife and Family and Everybody Hates Chris.
My Wife and Kids, yeah.
My Wife and Kids. Not bad. Let me say this. Damon Wayans is a case of Hollywood getting it wrong. Everyone, including the hottest comedian at that time in the world,
Eddie Murphy.
There was no comedian hotter than Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy said that Damon Wayans
was next.
That's next. He should. This is a clear case of Hollywood got it wrong and really missed out on the opportunity to make the next big megastar, black or white.
The wrong black guy.
That being said, when I tell you that I thoroughly enjoyed My Wife and Kids, we just got through talking about Junior's dumbass.
Didn't he win the stupidest?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he the dumbest. Yeah.
Imagine having to work with that as a son.
Exactly. I will say from that standpoint, his chemistry with Elise Neal, amazing. His chemistry with the kids as a father, amazing.
How could it not be?
How could it not be? The innovation of him being not only a traditional entrepreneur.
Tisha Campbell.
It was Tisha Campbell. I'm sorry, I had Elise Neal on the brain. My bad. My bad. Y'all, I've been okay. So everybody, so you know, I've been on the 90s kick all week, and all that shit been running together. I ain't gonna hold you. But his
she
dynamic.
Was on D.L. Hughley show.
Yeah, she was on D.L. Hughley show. She was on the Hughleys, which was also another funny show, very underrated. Damn, really? Okay. But no. He is a father. I think he had very distinct children, and even the little boy, the neighbor,
the smart,
the little
smart guy.
His dynamic with him, I thought, was hilarious. It's like he drew. This is how you know you have a true comedian. He drew comedic. He drew hilariously comedic roles out of everyone and performances out of everyone. Like he made everyone funny when he was on the screen.
He's truly he was truly like Jordan. As a matter of fact, even another person on this list, Terry Crews, like the legend, the episode with him and Terry Crews is damn near legendary. With the Euro training.
With the Euro, yes, absolutely. So I truly enjoyed it. I'll say this much. I've made no bones about the fact that I'm not even a Terry Crews fan for real. Even before all the bullshit, like just the whole constant flicking his titties. I just couldn't get with it. But it's a grown ass man flicking his breast. Nigga, you don't talk to anybody and flick your titties at him. What kind of shit is that?
That was his claim to fame.
I have got to tell you,
OG.
Did not enjoy Everyone Hates Chris.
I don't know.
I just didn't.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Let me say this. I think that, to me, the best performance out of that show came from Tashina Arnold. I think Tashina Arnold is one of those actors where you can put her in any situation and she's going to make it work. From Little Shop of Horrors all the way up to Everybody Hates Chris. So from that standpoint, that part of it was semi-enjoyable, but I couldn't stand how cheap he was. I couldn't stand how stereotypically cheap he was. Just good God. It just everything about it irked me. And for that, hey, Michael Kyle gotta stay. Julius, you and your romper and your titty meat and your cheap ass coins, y'all gotta go, man.
Dog, the man worked 2 jobs. All he wanted was a nap between the 2 jobs, and Tashina Arnold would not let him sleep. Trying to talk to him about Shalimar and shit. Come on, man. Give the man some credit. You know, I'm not talking about Terry Crews. I'm talking about Julius.
He got to go home so he can go home and get some sleep now. Shit.
He ain't never gonna go home because he gotta work all these damn jobs because his wife is sitting up there saying shit like, I don't have to take this. My husband has 2 jobs.
Man, listen. All I'm gonna say is
the man was a working giant. Okay. That man literally worked himself to death.
All right. You tell me what you got.
Okay, look. So the first person I have to keep. You know, me and Nick differ a little bit in this. First person I have to keep is my man Philip Banks. You know what I'm saying? He is my favorite TV dad of all time. I feel like he's the most impactful. You know, look, when he gave those speeches, you know, to Will about, you know, getting your life together, I'm like, you know, it made me want to straighten up and fly right. And I wasn't even, you know, off the ground yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, so number one, he got to stay. Second, who's got to stay? I'm going with a hot take here. The second person who's got to stay is my man Michael Kyle for me. And the reason I say that is because my eyes were opened up to business by Michael Kyle. I did not know that you could do that. You know what I mean? Like when I saw him doing that, it was just like, wow, this is different. You know, this man has a vending business, and you know, he literally is running his he's running his business. He's being an effective and great dad. He's funny as all hell. You know what I'm saying? Because like Damon Wayans, as we discussed earlier, I'm not going to rehash how funny Damon Wayans is, but everybody knows. Well, not everybody doesn't know, but you guys know now if you're listening that Major Payne is one of my favorite movies of all time, and you know, and so is like Mo Money, like Damon Wayans in the early '90s. I just said I wasn't going to rehash this, but damn it, Damon Wayans is funny as shit, dude. I'm sorry.
Yo, I'm just wondering where this shit is going next, because
so Michael Kyle, he got to stay because I did not know you could do that. Third person who has to stay is getting dicey now, boy. It's getting dicey now. Let's see, is it gonna be Terry Crews? I mean, is it gonna be Mr. Julius, or is it gonna be Carl Winslow? Now, see, I'm a man who respects wisely. I am a man who respects work. Okay, I have to work hard for my family. And I'm in a situation, you know, where, you know, I am the, you know, majority winner of the bread in the household. So I respect the hell out of work. And I respect what Mr. Julius does. You know, what he did on that show, he had to deal with, you know, raising his kid in Brooklyn, the do or die Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn in the 80s during the crack era. And trying to keep them kids off the street. Man, hard work. Now, on the flip side, my man Carl Winslow had to deal with the mean streets of Chicago as a cop. As a cop in Chicago, while raising a black family. Now, I'm gonna tell you what puts this person over the top for me. What puts it over the top for me is the episode of Family Matters, where Carl Winslow spoke to them other cops.
I was just watching that shit this week.
Who pulled Eddie over, and you know, and basically were, you know, undermining, you know, undermining his humanity. And they didn't stop doing it until they found out that his father was a cop, which that shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Now, we live in a very sensitive time. We know where we dealing with a lot of police violence. So the way that Carl came in there and talked to them damn cops, them damn white ass cops, and let them know, the error of their ways. Even trying to convince the younger one, he was trying to convince the younger officer, look, you don't have to be like this dumbass over here. You know what I'm saying? And the way that he delivered that speech to him, it shook my soul, man. So for that reason, and that reason, well, not just that reason alone, it's other reasons as well. Any man who has to deal with a goddamn Steve Urkel running in and out of his house without killing him, you got my vote, okay? Because I'd kill that nigga. Get the hell up out of my house, boy. You know what I mean? Like, there would be no way in hell that Steve Urkel would be running in and out of my damn house talking about some Heidi Howland's house. Man, you don't get the fuck out of my house, you stupid mother. Look, and I love Jaleel White. You know what I'm saying? But that boy,
Purple Urkel.
Boy, I'm telling you, that was the most annoying motherfucker I ever seen in my life. So any man who has to deal with that, as well as being a cop in Chicago, raising, 4 kids? Well, it was 4, but it ended up being 3. We're not going to talk about that either. That was contract negotiations that had nothing to do with Carl Winslow. That had nothing to do with Carl Winslow as a father. He did not lose his child, okay?
Hey, listen, all I know is Judy went up them stairs. Next time you saw her was 10 years later. She was sucking dick for money.
Well, yeah, 10 years later, you saw her on that bar stool. But
I wasn't going into detail. Okay, well,
look,
please
I've
seen
the scene. Anyway, her name is Craven. Anyway, look, you this nigga writing down. Anyway, so for those reasons, I gotta pick my man Carl Winslow for the win. He goes hot. My man Mr. Julius got to go home, and Terry Crews ass got to go home. In general, get your Old Spice the fuck up out of here. Now, I had my man Nick scared. I know I had him nervous.
Yeah,
over
you
there.
did, nigga.
I know I did. I had to keep
you was on the spectrum with that.
I had to keep you on your toes, bro.
He been talking about Mr. Julius all week, just so y'all know.
I'm gonna tell you,
off air, talk about that motherfucker all week. So I was like, okay, this shit better.
Look, like I said, I respect work. Now, if we had one of the honorable mentions up in here,
it's a couple of honorable mentions I would put over Terry Crews, over Mr. Julius. Pops would have gone over. Bernie Mac would have gone over Mr. Julius. Nah, fuck all that. I'll say this much. Yes, Mr. Julius, you go. Terry Crews, I'm going to directly and completely bite Charlemagne the God on this. Terry Crews, as you exit with your Mr. Julius persona, I want you to walk outside. I want you to take a look around, smell the air, take in all the sounds. I want you to look up, right? I want you to look up into the sky, and I want you to look at that sun. I want you to think about that sun, S-U-N, and I want you to do exactly that. Shut up, nigga! Like, I want you to shut the fuck up.
Lord, you are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day.
Anyway, we gotta go, man. One up, one down. Felt 5. What you got this week, brother?
Oh man, I'm just gonna be trying to enjoy my mattress between going to work and I work like Mr. Julius, so
I was really excited about this goddamn mattress.
And also, a brother's starting to do music again. My services were requested to get back into this podcast intro game. So I will be, getting one out today.
I will definitely say this, and you need look no further than one of our favorite podcasts, The Black Guy Who Tips. And that alone is a reason that anyone in earshot should be hiring Felt 5 to do their intro. Felt 5 is a beast in these podcasts and streets. So I am very proud of this brother and what he's been able to accomplish there. So they made a great decision. They made a great choice. Hey, speaking of things coming back, after 5 months, the Morning Cup of Merch podcast will be returning this coming Wednesday.
Let's go, baby.
10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Let's go.
We're going to be talking about getting ready for Q4, which is the biggest selling season of the year.
Let's go.
How, if you have not started your own print-on-demand business yet, how you can get started in print-on-demand and start to make money with relatively low output putting in. This is not a course. This is not a book. This is information that's going to be coming every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central on my YouTube channel, Nick Eden. So if you are interested in getting your print-on-demand business started, your print-on-demand apparel business, the number one category for Shopify, by the way, consistently been the number one selling category for Shopify and all of their stores. Make sure that you tune into it this coming week. And while you're tuning into stuff, make sure you head over to Instagram at the Zoommates, personal pages at Felt5, at Nick Eden, YouTube, the Zoommates podcast, and for the audio version, www.anchor.fm/Zoommates. One up, one down. We appreciate everybody taking an hour and some change out of their beautiful day to listen to us. Try not to get canceled. We will see you all same time next week. Take care.
Take care. Peace, y'all.